Service to self is not just obvious cruelty. It often looks polished, strategic, confident, and completely normal until you notice what it is protecting. In the Law of One, service to self is a pattern of consciousness organized around control, separation, and advantage. It is not healthy self-respect. It is not rest. It is not a clean boundary. A healthy boundary tells the truth and still respects reality. Service to self tries to control reality so the person keeps power, leverage, or a protected image. This pattern can look impressive on the surface. A person may sound calm, capable, persuasive, and highly competent. But under pressure, the question is not, what is true? The question becomes, how do I stay on top? How do I control the story? How do I avoid looking weak? That is why service to self can be hard to recognize. It does not always arrive as open aggression. Sometimes it shows up as selective honesty, careful image management, strategic confusion, or emotional pressure that keeps other people off balance. Imagine a department director at work who makes a bad decision that costs the team time and money. When people begin asking questions, she does not clearly admit the mistake. Instead, she controls the meeting, answers indirectly, leaves out key facts, and quietly lets a lower-level employee absorb the blame. From the outside, she may still look composed and professional. She is not yelling, she is not being dramatic. But the pattern is clear. Protecting status matters more than truth. Preserving authority matters more than repair. Other people become tools for damage control. You can see the same thing in friendships or family life. Someone hurts another person, then immediately shifts the conversation toward how misunderstood they feel, how unfair the feedback is, or how everyone else is overreacting. The goal is not honest repair. The goal is to regain control of perception. A more accountable response looks different. The person slows down, names what happened clearly, lets other people speak, and accepts the discomfort of not controlling the room. They ask what repair would actually help. They do not need to win the moment in order to stay intact. That is the contrast that matters. Accountability can feel uncomfortable, but it opens reality. Control tries to narrow reality until only one story is allowed to survive. Service to self is not just about being selfish in a simple way. It is the repeated habit of choosing image over truth, leverage over honesty, domination over mutuality, and distance over real contact. The value of this teaching is not to label other people. It is to become more honest with yourself. When you feel exposed, do you move toward truth or toward image? Do you move toward repair or toward control? Do you try to clarify reality or do you try to dominate how reality is seen? One useful practice this week is simple. Notice one moment where you feel the urge to manage perception. Pause before speaking. Ask what a more honest response would sound like if you were not trying to stay in control.